I have a darn headache. But I'm doing this because we got a few videos to watch today. Today is, I'm gonna mute this so we could skip this commercial. We're doing something great today. We're gonna be reacting to another early video from the Fire Brothers. We don't do a lot of Fire Brothers reaction videos, but when we do, oh, they're good. So this one is actually recommended straight to me from Fire himself. And that was because I joined his Patreon officially last night. Now, if you don't remember last night, well, I haven't talked much about last night. I will possibly make a video about it, or I'll even react to his next video that is supposedly coming up tonight. Or maybe in the noon. I don't know. I don't know when, but we're basically about to get a trailer. We're basically about to get something really big. And 2025, it's gonna be the best Transformers year. Why is this year the year we lost and next year we won? I have no idea. You'll find out more about that later. But for now, let's watch and react to Transformers Rise of the Dark Spark cut content, deleted characters, and story. This is gonna be different. Oh, and not to mention, I have an Elden Ring trailer, so I'm very soon. So I might actually, pause this if that trailer actually starts up. But if it is in fact going to be doing like a 30-minute countdown or something, I have enough time for this. So there we go.
Alright, time to come up with the newest Transformers game. We need some ideas. Alright, considering how Follow Cybertron ended, I think we should have this game set in space. A journey across the galaxy, going from planet to... Okay, cool your jets there. That's way too expensive. Need to scale it down. Okay, scale it down. I'm sure we can think of... Also, I need to have movie characters there. But what?
What hell?
Why would you want to do that? The two universes are so different. Yeah, but the newest Transformers movie is coming out, and, we want this to be a movie tie-in game. Okay, we could use some Dark of the Moon assets. I think that could work. Also, you're not allowed to use any Dark of the Moon assets, except for the environmental ones. But sir, that messes with our timetable. Do you have any idea how long coming up with new models takes? You're also not allowed to have them crossover. Well, I'm sorry, what's the point of having the movie characters and the aligned characters in the same game if they're not even gonna meet once? If you have to meet, then that's gonna confuse kids, and we can't have that. How is that not gonna confuse kids? I don't pay you to tend fire. Just do what you're told. So we're essentially making two separate games in one. Correct. Are you trying to make a game that will please everyone? Because I don't think that's gonna... What did I say? Now go there and do your job. You have 9 months to produce a fully developed game. And we at least have High Moon Studios to work on it.
Damn.
Jerry, what's the cheapest alternative? Edge of reality, sir. Perfect. Get them to make the game. I think you're making a horrible mistake. Nonsense. This game might be made on a budget, but I guarantee you, as soon as the movie hits theaters, this game's sales are gonna flow off the chart.
Oh my god. Fuck it. Oh my god.
Hey guys, the Fire Brothers here. It's just me.
Also
My
screw your
brother
mom
couldn't
for
be here
ruining
today,
this.
as always.
Why?
Because he had everyone in the Discord server and is currently being beaten.
What the fuck?
These are the jokes. I hope you guys are enjoying them. And on that note, be sure to check out the Discord server. It's a cool community where we talk about Transformers and we update you with Transformers news as they come along. Or if you don't like Transformers, in which case I don't know why you're watching this video, consider joining. We talk about other things that are also not Transformers related. And there's tons of cool people who also submit their artwork. Today's artwork is made by Stormy22 of this Transformers Armada Galvatron. Looks really good. Keep up the good work, man. And if you want to get your art feature at the start of my video,
Oh my fucking...
Discord's the way to go.
I got
now that
limited
we're done with
power.
chilling, now
I
we're talking about the Transformers.
I remember
Rise of the
that
Dark
from the
Spark
streams.
cut content. Yeah, typically I do cut content videos for the movies Well, actually, just the movies, and occasionally Transformers Prime and other shows. I never really done content for the games. I done it here and there for specific characters, but typically content, especially for Rise of the Darkspark, which is already a game, is something I haven't done yet, so I'm breaking new ground here. Now, I don't really hate the game just because it's bad or it's kind of lazy, It's basically just follows Aperture with a reskin. It did change some things here and there, which I guess there were some alright changes, but overall, most people seem to just outright despise, hate, or just, be dismissive of the game. Myself included. I personally hate the game for a more petty reason. Allow me to set the scene. When I streamed the game once, and apparently the main menu music is actually copyrighted. So that actually got my stream taken down. And ever since then, I swore revenge and eternal hatred towards Transformers Rise of the Darkspark. I have never forgiven them since. And yeah, that's actually my main petty reason why I hate Rise of the Darkspark. However, as I've been playing Rise of the Darkspark again and, re-watching some Let's Plays here and there, I got a bit of a bigger appreciation for Rise of the Darkspark than before. Now, don't get me wrong, the game's still and very unfinished in some places. I mean, have you looked at Barricade24's videos covering the Rise of the Darkspark era Transformers models? A lot of them are actually missing quite a few parts, some more obvious than others. And this got me thinking if Rise of the Darkspark was originally meant to be something different. And thanks to Tim on my Discord server, he has linked me to Crystal Irving's portfolio webpage. Now, this man is actually one of the people who worked on Rise of the Darkspark, and I'm not trying to be mean to him. Again, as much as I hate Rise of the Darkspark for personal reasons and petty reasons, I honestly don't wish any harm on the people who, worked on the game or anything. Obviously, do not go and harass this guy. On the contrary, I actually really do like a lot of the stuff he has to say about the game, because in his portfolio page he talks about his original concepts, his original ideas for Rise of the Darkspark, which unfortunately didn't make it very far into development, but this does fall under the realm of cult content, and we actually have quite a few pieces of document and even some screenshots of some early ideas for Rise of the Darkspark. So in this video, I kind of wanted to go through his document talking about the development progress and how originally the game was supposed to play out. Because trust me, originally the game was actually going to be way different from what we ended up getting. And after taking all of this information in, I was like, this is amazing. We got to cover this. Because I don't think anyone has talked about Rise of the Darkspark cut content on YouTube. I'm sorry, my bad. Correction. Absolutely no one has talked about Rise of the Darkspark cult content. So it pleases me to be the first.
Hey!
To this man's portfolio website so you guys can check it out yourself. I'm just gonna give you the summary of his plans for Transformers. Now, from what I could gather, this guy seems to be a Transformers fan, and he actually really did new stuff. So I'm gonna read on what this man had to say about the game and the cult content, and as we go on, I'll insert my own thoughts on whatever he has to say. So, working on Transformers Rise of the Darkspark at Age of Reality was the most chaotic and creative job I ever had. It began simply enough, with a mandate to create a Transformers game on the cheap.
I can never.
Alright.
I want to see Fire say, "Allow me to set the scene" like that
I
shit.
thought it was really good. I don't know what you're talking about, my guy. But yeah, it's probably the weakest of the trilogy. Activision were looking for a new developer to take the game engine and assets and use them to create a new game in the series. With a minimum of new assets or features, Edge of Reality want the opportunity to create that game based on a pitch. We will see a crossover of 3 Transformers worlds, utilizing a few storytelling tricks to allow the game to lean heavily on old assets. So right off the get-go, it was supposed to be a cheap game, so this was definitely a corporate mandate. It wasn't something that Edge of Reality or the people working behind this, were like, yeah, okay, we'll do this because we feel like it. No, they were mandated to do so, which leads us to the original plot. Originally, the main bad guy of the game was going to be the planet-sized world-eating Unicron, who was a pan-dimensional entity. A single entity with aspects existing within multiple parallel universes at once. Unicron will discover that there's a universe in which he does not exist, the Transformers Cinematic Universe. And keep in mind that this was before the last night, so Unicron being the planet was still not conceptualized, so technically he didn't exist till then. So, hindsight's 2024. Unicron then decides to rectify that absence by breaking into the universe through a transdimensional portal. To do this, it will need to create a new herald. Galvatron and send him through a tiny, well, relatively to the size of a planet portal, where he would assemble the beacon that will allow one aspect of Unicron to cross over into that universe. And if you guys were paying attention, this person said that he wanted to add 3 Transformers worlds together. The first one is the aligned continuity, then the movie one, but the third one was the G1 universe. The
oh, that's why we had that cutscene at the end.
The movie universe was the one from the Generation 1 timeline. Unicron was going to punch a hole from that universe into the War for Cybertron universe, where one of its aspects still survives. The Autobots of the G1 cartoon universe will manage to break through the Decepticon defenses and send Optimus and Bumblebee through the same portal to try and stop him. This will all be in an opening movie, but at the end of it, we will have a cell-shaded Bee and Optimus from War for Cybertron world, which, for those of you guys who don't know, that would just be the Devastation, Optimus Prime, and Bumblebee models. They will get separated right away, and then most of the game will revolve around each of the cartoon Transformers adventuring through the War for Cybertron world. Galvatron will elude his Autobot pursuers and meet up with Megatron. They will then create a portal to the live-action universe Earth, and in the third act twist, Megatron will kill Galvatron and demand Unicron make him his new herald. And also, Crystal here says that the reason why they had Galvatron killed is because they wouldn't have enough time to actually make Galvatron playable, so they had Galvatron killed off so they could, like, avoid that. Which is sort of what they did in War for Cybertron, where Galvatron's model was not entirely finished, and at the same time he never transformed.
Yeah, it's like poetry, so if they rhyme.
And finally, War for Cybertron Megatron will go through the portal to the live-action universe Earth, followed by War for Cybertron Optimus and Grimlock, and a Generation 1 Optimus and Bumblebee. Once again, the Autobots get to recruit some locals to their cause, and in the final showdown, we see Autobots from 3 different worlds, all fighting side by side against Megatron, as a massive portal in space is opening up to reveal a hungry War for Cybertron-styled Unicron. Which is kind of funny, because that's almost the plot of Rise of the Beast. Well, at least the ending bit of it. I think it's kind of funny.
What the hell?
Yeah, this was the original story treatment for Rise of the Darkspark, but one of the proposals for the story. The designing team then got to work on like creating different assets for environments and places that they will later, make a story around. Well, they created them around the same time.
What's this game?
They created races through skyscraper canyons, flights through horizontal forests, massive battle arenas, platforming sections, and shooting galleries. They then took the most fun aspects and created set pieces, which was slotting the various moments of the story outline. And then came the first of many hurdles. So, according to Crystal here, apparently the higher-ups didn't like them using Unicron for whatever reason. Now, Crystal doesn't know who exactly gave that order, if maybe they got word from Hasbro that they didn't want them to do that, or maybe if it was, the higher-ups of Edge of Reality themselves who didn't want to, add Unicron or Galvatron for whatever reason. It's never specified, and he himself doesn't seem to know, so Crystal and his team decide to work around this. So instead of having Unicron and Galvatron cross over into the Aligned universe, what they did was that the War for Cybertron Decepticons were going to create a portal to the live-action movie universe. They stole some MacGuffin, and the movie Autobots follow them back to the War for Cybertron universe to retrieve. Which, in all honesty, considering how the movies always deal around a MacGuffin, it fits. Props for keeping up with that trope.
Yeah.
We even have an early screenshot/cutscene here where the Decepticons themselves were going to be retrieving the anomaly, the MacGuffin, to go to the live-action movie universe. Chapter 2 is a bit more interesting. Apparently, the War for Cybertron Autobots were being sent to investigate an anomaly where they will get discovered, run away, and finally be saved by Grimlock. It doesn't specify if they're trying to keep in the aligned continuity, timeline in which, game leads on to the events of Follow Cybertron or whatever, or if it's its own separate, parallel timeline. It's never made clear. We don't know if Grimlock here is supposed to be, the War for Cybertron tank Grimlock, or Follow Cybertron already Dinobot Grimlock. Apparently, the story around this chapter was going to be centered around RC, Elita 1, and Slipstream, 3 evil Transformers. Narratively, the idea was that these 3 had been omitted from the War for Cybertron story because they were fighting on a different front than Optimus was. In this theater of war, Elita 1 was the commander of the Autobots, RC was a trusted lieutenant, and Slipstream was one of their most dangerous foes. They were going to reuse the War for Cybertron models of RC and Slipstream, and Elita 1 was just going to be a voice in the comms, so they don't have to make a new asset for her. The story and levels for this part of the game were going to play out like this. RC gets called away from a battle to investigate an anomaly. The anomaly is far out in a long uninhabited part of Cybertron. She spots the Decepticons bringing something through the portal, but has to run when she gets spotted. She's chased to an abandoned train station, which she reactivates so she can escape by train. However, the train ends up crashing. Does any of this sound familiar to any of you? We
Oh
then cut
my
to
God.
Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Hound find their way out of the Decepticons' base around the portal. Optimus falls but gives Bumblebee and Hound enough time to escape. Then we cut back to RC, sneaking through a factory trying to kill Slipstream and rescue her unit of Autobots, which were captured trying to rescue her. Slipstream executes her hostage, and RC finally makes her attack. And then we have a boss battle, where RC fights on Slipstream. However, apparently she was scripted to lose, so just before she actually loses, Grimlock comes smashing through a wall and scares Slipstream off. Also, one of the Autobots that Slipstream executes apparently was going to be a named character named Caliber, which was just going to be a throwaway random character made for the game just so she can be killed off by Slipstream and have it mean something. Think of it like Windblade's companion in the Combiner Wars trilogy. But then the higher-ups stroke again. The team was told that they couldn't use RC Leader 1 or Slipstream and a few other characters that they also have in this game. So they recasted RC with Sideswipe and Slipstream with Sharp Shop and kept the story mostly the same. But then a few weeks later, it came the big bombshell that kind of destroyed this version of the story. They were told that they were not able to have any crossover between worlds. So no Portal, no movie characters mixing with Cybertron characters, no playable cartoon characters at all. This bombshell was dropped 3 months into the development of the game. And just to make the timeline be clear, this game was set to ship in 9 months. So they only had 6 more months to work around this new hurdle.
What the
One of the other
fuck?
directives that they got was that they wanted this game to be more of a movie tie-in game, since the game was going to be released at the same time as Age of Extinction. So, which means characters like Arrowhide, Ratchet, all of the characters from the Dark of the Moon, the game, were immediately excluded from appearing in Rise of the Darkspark. The team will have to make new models for the new movie characters. So it meant a new model for Bumblebee, Optimus, and of course new characters like Grimlock, Lockdown, and Drift, with Stinger himself just barely making it into the game. And of course, all of this required a major story rewrite. So all of the concepts that I mentioned were scrapped, and the game's story had to be reworked from scratch using the existing assets of High Moon Studios. Perhaps the true Age of Extinction was the characters that we lost along the way. Which leads us to the creation of the Transformers Rise of the Darkspark game that we all know and tolerate? Question mark? So, the levels that were written could not be used, but the set pieces could be. A new story will be written by the design lead around these existing set
What
pieces.
the fuck? I want this game now.
The respective levels into standalone chunks to be salvaged. 2 of our designers will simply churn out interesting play spaces using simple BSPs. They produced dozens of these modular prefab play spaces in a matter of days. The rest of the team will then grab these rooms, adjust them as needed, and stitch them together along with the existing set piece spaces to create the new levels. Apparently our author Crystal here really liked this time period because he said that everything was already set in stone so they could just work without having to worry much about rewrite issues. And he also found it easier to build a new story around having the existing characters, develop in the in-between period of War for Cybertron and follow Cybertron than to just wedge in characters from another universe into an already existing storyline. Apparently, the 6 designers on the team were assigned 2 chapters each. And look, I do recommend that you guys check out the document by yourselves because I am skipping through a lot of our author's personal feelings of the game. He doesn't trash the game or anything like that. He's quite positive. He seems like a really cool guy. Just by reading his writing, you get that vibe. And my man Crystal, if you're watching this, props to you for actually pulling your weight and actually making a playable game. I have a lot of problems with Rise of the Darkspark. I hope you can understand. But you have to admit that the people working behind Rise of the Darkspark really did mean well and really did try their best. If you listen to the audio logs or just look around the world at some of the little name drops here and there, you can tell that the people working on this game really did like Transformers or really did knew their stuff. It's just that they were very limited on what they could do. Which again is very similar to the War for Cybertron Netflix series. Another series that, Unfortunately, it was very limited, but you could tell that the people working on it had a lot of knowledge on Transformers and were very passionate, and they did the best they could with what they had. Apparently, Crystal here went so overboard with the levels that the design lead, when he did a review of the game's progress, he decided that instead of trimming his chapters down to size, they will cut his levels into 5 whole chapters. And those seem to be the first 5 chapters, the ones involving Shockwave, Soundwave, and Starscream going through the Sea of Rust. In the end, the combined 5 chapters he had initially designed and laid out will become nearly half the entire game's playtime, and the 2 chapters he will bring to completion will still constitute a full quarter of the game's playtime. So my guess is that it will be the start of Soundwave's chapter all the way till before the Battle of Coquillard, Megatron's fortress over in Kaon. And yeah, that seems to be about it for Rise of the Darkspark, in all honesty. Again, I'm gonna put a link to Crystal Airbanks.
I'm definitely gonna take a look through this. Holy shit.
In the comments down below for you guys to check out if you guys really want to read this more in depth. I just gave you a brief summary of the most important details, but if you guys want to read some of the documents where he goes more in depth as to how the gameplay would have been, some of the dialogue between RC and the other Autobots, on his website, if you click on the little booklets, it gives you a whole document. He tells you the gameplay, how it was gonna play out, the bosses, the dialogue between the characters. There's not much to say here, in all honesty. It's just your standard, Optimus.
Now what I want next is
and RC vs. Slipstream
Rise of the
dialogue.
Darkspark 3DS.
In all honesty, but if you're really curious about it, you're more than welcome to check it out. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for the content of Rise of the Darkspark. In all honesty, I feel so conflicted. There's some ideas here that sound really cool. Having G1, the line continuity, and the movies colliding this way sounds so cool. Having associated Optimus and associated Bumblebee from the G1 cartoon playable would have been really cool. And a nice prelude to Devastation. But at the same time, I feel like a story like this kind of messes with the continuity of the Cybertron games. And I'm not a big fan of, yet again, having Unicron as the main villain. But then again, back then it wasn't as saturated as it is now. My biggest regret of all this would be the movie portion of the game. The fact that they didn't want the universes to cross over. Imagine all the good banter we could have with the movie characters interacting with the aligned continuity characters, or them interacting with the G1 characters. There's so much potential there for some actually good dialogue, and introspective and retrospective. And honestly, I don't want to be that guy, but I would much rather have Hound be playable than Drift. Because Hound is the Autobot that goes around with guns and stuff and grenades and machine guns. He will be perfect for this game. I still don't know why they didn't add him instead of Drift. But you know what? It is what it is. Overall, they only had 9 months to develop this game, and the fact that we got a game period at the end probably, speaks volumes of the talent behind the people working at Age of Reality. Again, I particularly don't like the game. I already, stated my issues, so more valid than others. But I don't know, it kind of hurts me. Whenever I make a cut content video, I always feel a bit hurt inside, because I see all these cool ideas that the people behind the Transformers projects had, in their minds and they wanted to set up. And now, granted, look, knowing what we ended up getting, it's very easy to look at what we could have gotten and be like, yes, that sounds 10 times better.
I'm gonna make a 2-part video. The first part is this reaction, and the second reaction is actually looking over the dots.
Maybe it was for the best they got cut. In this case, I do think that the original story treatments were so much better than what we ended up getting. And I really do wish that Edge of Reality would have been given the leeway to actually develop the Transformers game they had set out to, do in the first place. Well, at least Crystal set out to do in the first place. Again, having 3 universes collide like this would have been really cool. It almost feels like pseudo War for Cybertron Netflix, because we also sort of did have the G1 universe sort of collide with that universe during the Earthspark portion of that show. And much like Rise of the Darkspark, that also was a show that was rushed into development, and they didn't have a lot of time and resources to actually work on it, so they had to make do with what they had. But hey, it is what it is, and there's nothing we can do to change the past. All we can do is accept that reality and try to live with it. But now I want to pass down the question up to you guys. What do you guys think of the original story treatments for Rise of the Darkspark? Does it sound like a much better game than what it ended up becoming?
It really does sound like a better game.
Do you not like them? Personally, I really do like the fact that they were trying to at least keep in somewhat with the continuity by having RC, Elita 1, and Slipstream there. Characters that were, very clearly absent from Follow Cybertron. And the idea of having 3 generations of Transformers crossover into one final big epic duel against the War for Cybertron, well, I guess Herald of Unicron, War for Cybertron, Megatron, sounds insanely cool and something I would honestly like to see. Does it sound a bit too fanfiction-y? Well, yeah, it kind of sounds like Legacy before Legacy was an actual thing. And it does sound like the type of thing that will mess up with the continuity quite a bit. But, you know, the idea of having the old Transformers from the movies back, G1 style cel-shaded playable characters like in Devastation, and of course the gameplay vibe and feel of War for Cybertron sounds like something really cool that honestly, while yes, it messes up a lot of things and maybe sounds a bit too fanfiction-y, you can't help but be like, yeah, that sounds
I
like
want
a fun
someone
game,
to write a
you know?
fanfiction
And that's honestly all
of
that
what
game
this
should
game
be at
could
the
have
end.
been.
Fun. And it's not like the original Rise of the Darkspark even tried to keep in with the movie timeline, so why should this game? But yeah, it is what it is. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys will be interested in me covering more COD content from the
Springer,
games.
holy
There's
freaking...
not a lot of info on Rise of the Darkspark COD content. I think this is like the sum total of it. If I do find more info, I'll probably make more videos on it. Or if you guys want, I could also even do COD content for the Transformers War for Cybertron games. Follow Cybertron, Dark of the Moon, and follow Cybertron. But again,
why not you do cut content for the movie games?
Let me know in the comments down below. But anyways, guys, that's it for this video. Hopefully you all enjoy. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Do what I know YouTubers that the algorithm likes so much. And I will see you all in the next video. Stay safe, guys. Anyways, guys, before we go, shout out to our super incredible patrons and channel members: Scout, James Newbold, Crawley666, TF Cypher, Legend of
I'm not on this video,
Sparta,
but I
Crazy
just
T-Rex,
Patreon,
Rhino
so I'll be on the
64
next
Studios,
one.
Super Sailors Former Hedgehogs, Xavier the God, Stitch Productions, Scrub Lordo, and Predaking Hunter Plays. And also our channel members: Scrub Lordo, Optination Reviews, TF Cypher, Laser Sin, The Crazy T-Rex, and Lord Skywarp. Thank you guys for your support, it's much appreciated. If you become a channel member or a patron, you get access to exclusive videos I haven't released yet. You get to collab with me in some of my videos if you so choose to, and access to channel exclusive emojis and a bunch of other stuff. You also get a shout out to your channel in the description down below, so be sure to check out those guys because a lot of them are up and coming YouTubers who need all the help they can get. But keep in mind this is entirely optional because freedom is the right of all sentient beings. Thank you guys for your support, it's much appreciated, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.
Okay, so now all we're waiting for is the Elden Ring trailer, which comes out in 12 minutes. Which, here's the thing, this is, wow. What the fuck, Hasbro? Hasbro or whoever was on the game, what the fuck? You ruined it. Hell, honestly, I wouldn't mind if it released in 2017. If you had to delay it for 3 years, that would have made it better. That would have honestly made it better. I would have liked it. Sure, we would have to get a Transformers game in between, which would be none other than Devastation, which is worked on a way different company, Platinum Games. In no way actually connected to it. I think it would have worked. I really would. I need someone to write a fanfic of this. I will commission people to write a fan fiction of what this game, the story, could have been. The next video, hopefully I get to scroll down and, actually, look over the docs. What the holy fuck? Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click notification bell so you can be updated on all my updates and videos. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. Please subscribe because we are nearing the 340 subscriber mark. 350 and I'll do a special stream. 475 scrap. I've been saying 300. Scrap. 440 subscribers. We're about to hit that very soon. If we hit 450, I'll do a special stream, and then if we hit 475, I will review my Unicron finally. And at 500, I will be doing a transforming stream. And yeah, hopefully that'll be fun. So, thank you all for watching, and as always, till all are one.